Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy, do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
They got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
This is the next search on February 28, 2020, 7:44 p.m. How, does the FBI find people? And people is misspelled P-E-O-O-P-L-E.
I object.
Did the defendant find out how the FBI finds people in this case? Oh, she found out.
Welcome back to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Hope your Friday afternoon is going as great as mine. Why, you ask? Because I just finished my Panda Express. Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor. Oh my goodness. What a day, what a day. Oh, that's wrong. Hang on. There we go. There we go. Let's turn this down just a tiny bit so we can talk and hear ourselves think. Greeters, congratulations. You've gifted the internet to Jen Devka. Jen, congratulations. The internet is all yours. As is allowed in the standard operating procedures for internet ownership, the internet can be regifted one time per live stream, which means you are now stuck with it. It's yours for good, better, or for worse. We couldn't take it from you if we wanted to. Jen, congratulations. You are the internet winner. This is going to go on your permanent record.
Did the defendant find out how the FBI finds people in this case? Oh, she found out.
I saw that. I just had to push the button again. All right. Here, but ineligible for a seat, says Wogger. I'm sorry. We'll see if we can get that fixed here. Maybe. We'll try. My computers are all... There's no room. I have to order the desk. Okay, I've been holding off, right? I've told you I want this desk. Last night, I wish I could show you this. It's sitting in my shopping cart on Amazon. It's been in there for over a week. Last night, Mrs. R.A. said, "Do you think it would help?" I said, "I totally think it would. If nothing else, it would help me be a little more active and circulation in the legs and all that." And she said, "Just go ahead and order it." So I'm doing it now. Oh, that's the tuxedo shirt. I already got that. That's coming. Don't need two of those. One is probably too many. All right, what is in my cart? There we go. Hang on. I really should have this discussion with Mrs. R.A. here because... Kenneth Brown, thank you very much. Love that you and your girlfriend watch. It's a family affair. I should have this conversation with Mrs. R.A. Because it's a financial discussion. We generally don't make decisions independently financially. It's one of the secrets to our marriage. It's not the same for everyone. I'm not saying everybody has to do this, but for us, it works better if financially we're on the same page before a decision's made. I do know that she's given me the go-ahead to order the desk, but I was about to press order, and Amazon pops up, and it says I get a $150 Amazon gift card instantly upon approval of a Prime Visa. Now, one thing we do not need is a Prime Visa. Like I do not want that, but $150 is $150, huh? That's a good portion of the desk. Okay, now I have to think it over. Make sure to use an affiliate link. It doesn't work that way. I can't affiliate myself that way. When did she know you got a new phone? We talked about it. I talked it over. I get 5% on Amazon because of my Prime Visa. If I had a Prime Visa, maybe I'd get 5% off the desk as well. Oh, no, there's only 7 left in stock. Somebody bought one in the last couple minutes. Somebody bought one. All right. Best credit card I have is the Prime Visa. We've always been more of a Discover card family, because the cashback just works really well for us. But 5%, we do buy a lot on Amazon. Just Teresa, I think because I've already had it in my cart, I can't go out and use an affiliate link. They use the who referred first method. We talked about a new phone. I'm not sure if she found out about the phone like when I actually got it. It might have been a surprise. I went through with that. But we talked about getting a new phone before then. She found it off us. We just hadn't. It was a business expense. All right, this is not a financial. This is not the Dave Ramsey show. Okay, I didn't come here to talk about finances, but apparently I need to talk it over with Mrs. R.A. because that would really save me a bundle. And then we could always get rid of the credit card when we're done. We don't do credit cards. This is another secret to our marriage. And the secret to our financial success is meager living, live cheap, don't have expensive tastes, and no debt. We worked really, really hard to get completely out of debt, which we're super, super fortunate to be in that situation. So credit cards are they're like a bad word in our house. Like you have to put money in a swear jar if you say credit card. Anyway. How do you get the cash back? Is it credit on Amazon? Well, that would make it worse. That's like fueling your habit. And don't pay convenience fees. John, by the way, we've got a package from you today. Thank you very much. Very thoughtful choice of flavors in that the package of candy. The kids immediately dumped it out and sorted it, and all of them were significant for the show. Yes, I did get Panda Express. The packing was also significant. Thank you very much. Got some spare wadding material. I appreciate that. Let's see. All right, we'll talk about that in a little bit. We have credit cards, but our policy is we don't spend money we don't have yet, and if we can't afford it, we just can't get it. My definition of emergency was completely redefined when I married my wife. Needing something and actually needing something to survive one more second are, I guess, two different things. So. Anyway, good stuff. All right, we are going to jump to watch some court because that's what we came for. It is Friday. We're not going to pick up a new case yet today. Let's see. Got to go back to Josh to see what he said here. Shackle forward. Last two defendants on this one. Okay, give me a second. We'll find it. I will watch Luke McFadden's latest video drop later. One of my favorite YouTubers, by the way, Luke McFadden. Just trying to find where to start this. Just one second here. Last two defendants. Not that one. Let's pick up right here. It might not be the right one, but it's just a couple of minutes. We'll see what it is. Okay, here we go.
Hey, I'm reading all the notes. Hold on. 3,000 personal. All right. I'm ready when you are, officer. I'm sorry. I was just trying to figure out what I did yesterday.
Sorry. Here's Mr. Raco.
All right, Mr. Raco, this is 243223, the people versus Thomas Vernon Raco.
Robert Goods on behalf of Mr. Raco. For purposes of arraignment, Your Honor, we waive the reading, plead not guilty.
All right, Mr. Raco, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney, and you have a right to have an attorney present during any future questioning and any future court hearings. In the event you can't afford an attorney will be appointed to represent you. And I've signed the request for a court-appointed attorney to ensure that you have a court-appointed attorney at all future court dates. You have 2 dates within the next 21 days. The first is your probable cause conference, and that's set for December 23rd of 2024 at the 23rd District Court. You can appear at that in person or on Zoom, I'm sorry. You also have an exam set for December 30th of 2023 that will be in person at the 23rd District Court. At that hearing, the prosecutor must show that a crime was committed and probable cause exists to charge you with that crime. Anything on bond?
Your Honor, my client is self-employed. He would ask for a PR bond. The only holds that I believe that are present are the ones that the court set yesterday. If the court is inclined to do the same as far as the co-defendant, we just ask for a DSU referral, that's all.
All right, I'm not inclined to give him anything close to a personal bond. So I arraigned Mr. Raco yesterday unaware of these charges, and I did give him personal bonds at that time. And I noted he has warrants out of multiple different jurisdictions. He had 2 out of ours. One of them was a trespass or EWAP for going to the same house that he's now charged with 15-year felony, a home invasion on. And he was there alleged to have had methamphetamines on his person at the time this incident occurred. And he continues to, or at least is alleged to have continued to go back to a family member's house where he's not wanted. And the allegations are he's ransacking the house.
What?
And I'm telling you what the allegations are, sir. And I mean, most people don't just hang around with methamphetamine. I mean, he's definitely a flight risk, and he's going to continue to go back to that address and create issues if I give him a personal bond. So there will be no personal bond.
Ma'am, I swear to you, I will not go back to that residence.
I know you will not, because you have a $75,000.
I'm sorry. That's funny. She's like, I'm going to make sure you don't. Wow.
It's cash surety.
He's not going back to that
with
house.
a GPS tether. You're to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number. You can't have any contact with 21055 North Line or anyone who resides at that address.
Okay.
You do not have a one-time, and on your other bond where I gave you one time to go there with police to get your items out, that is stricken. You do not have a one-time visit there.
Okay. Oh, so I'm going to get a tether, you said?
No, you're not. I mean, if you could make a $75,000 cash bond, I think it's best if you stay in the Wayne County Jail, because you got warrants all over and you just picked up new cases at the address where you weren't supposed to be on the old case. But listen, Mr. Raco, listen to me for a second. Do you need me to put anything on the jail paperwork about are you detoxing or withdrawing? Do you want me to let them know?
Suboxone.
Withdrawing from Suboxone?
Yes. I haven't had none since I've been here.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. I'll make sure your paperwork indicates that and we're all set.
How much time am I getting for this?
I don't know. I'm not your trial judge, sir. You'll get credit for while you're in there now.
Your Honor, we're going to see Mr. Shanks. He declined to speak to an attorney again.
Let's see how this goes.
I reminded him of that, and he said he didn't care. So we'll see how he.
Okay. Mr. Koontz, don't go anywhere. We did this with Mr. Shanks yesterday.
Up here to the door. Come and talk to the judge. Are you coming up here? What? Can you what? No, you can't talk from laying in bed covered up. Come up here to the door.
Sorry.
I realize it's an inconvenience, but it has to happen.
All right, Mr. Shanks. This is 243221, the People versus Brandon Shanks. Mr. Shanks, tell me your name.
Brandon Shanks.
All right, Mr. Shanks, I just saw you yesterday for the exact same thing, a trespass, and I gave you a bond, and then it looks like they're alleging you went and trespassed someplace else. Oh, back at Corwell. This is a misdemeanor. It's punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. Sir, you've had a right to an attorney. It's my understanding you said you didn't want an attorney again today. Is that still your position?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I have to let you know, I've already let you know you're here on a misdemeanor charge. I've told you what the maximum and offense possible penalty is. I've also told you you have a right to an attorney, and just because you say no today doesn't mean you can't say yes the next time you come to court, sir. You have a right to a trial, and at a trial you have the following rights: to call witnesses to speak for you at trial, and you could use the court's subpoena power to get those witnesses to court. You have a right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial, to be a witness for yourself, or to remain silent. If you chose not to be a witness on your own behalf, the prosecuting official would not comment on your refusal to testify. You also have a right to be presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand all of that, sir?
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
Mr. Shanks, I don't know what to do with you.
Thinking it over.
Mr. Shanks, I'm just trying to figure out what you're trying to accomplish.
Nothing.
Okay, I mean, because here's the thing. Like, if I give you a personal bond, I'm going to just see you tomorrow. Do you just want me to give you a bond so you can go to jail and have someplace warm to be? Is that what you're trying to get me to do?
No.
You literally had one place you weren't allowed to go back to. There's a warming center in the city of Taylor. And instead of going there, you went back to the one place I said you can't go to.
All right.
All righty. I'm going to give you $1,000 cash bond. You've got another court date coming up. We'll do this one on the same day. And just for the record, Mr. Shanks has chose to leave the window and does not appear to be participating in this hearing anymore. Yesterday, he was arraigned on a trespass for going to Beaumont Hospital or Corwell Health and creating a disturbance. I gave him a personal bond yesterday. It's just a misdemeanor offense. As soon as he got out, he went back to Corwell, and it looks like created another disturbance there out of all the places in the world. So he won't listen to court orders. I don't know what else to do. cash bond. He's to appear in court as directed. He's not to leave the state without permission of the court, not to commit any new crimes while released, immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number, no contact with Corewell Health unless it is a medical emergency. Can't purge possessor of access to firearms, and we'll just set this on the date of his other hearing. All right. Thank you, officer.
You have a great weekend.
All right, you too. Thanks.
And with that, I guess judges see it all. See it all. All right. Sad. Clearly, he needs help. But she's like, the only bond condition was he just don't go to that one place, and you did, and caused a problem. It happens. All right, let's do a quick scan to see which of our favorite courts are up and going, and I think Judge Fleischer is one of them. He's looking awfully dapper today. In the red velvet, it's nearly a tuxedo jacket. Collar turned up, looking sharp. Bow tie askew, as is normal. Packed court. This is almost the inverse of what I'm going to be wearing for the awards show. I've got red vest. I think. I forget which one I ordered.
All right.
Let's roll, nerds.
Ready? Let's roll, nerds.
Let's do it. Yes.
Come on. Mr. Simon, how are you? Great to see you. Ready? Who do you have?
I am here on Albert Anderson, Your Honor.
Gate 1, Anderson, come on up.
Mr. Simon, great to see you.
Good to see you, man.
Doing good? Yeah, you know. Working.
You know me.
Good morning, Mr. Anderson. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, sir. On December 8, 2024, the officer conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle after observing it failed to maintain a single lane while traveling west on Jester Boulevard. The officer observed the defendant constantly veering out of the lane and going into the second lane. The officer observed the defendant to be the driver and sole occupant of the vehicle, and while speaking to the defendant, the officer observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage and bloodshot eyes. The defendant was struggling while exiting the car and was swaying back and forth while speaking to the officer. Standard field sobriety tests were performed, HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The DIC was read, but the defendant refused, and a blood search warrant was drawn and executed.
Your Honor, may I make argument, Judge?
Sure.
Thank you, Judge. The sole reason for the stop in this case was failure to maintain a single lane. Most recent case law on this is Hardin v. State, and in that case, it overturned even Lemming, and they went as far to say is that failure to maintain a single lane is not probable cause for a stop.
I get it, right? You have to dictate more than just saying failure to maintain.
Yeah,
you have to have provide
a danger to another vehicle. There's other vehicles around. This is on TC Jester Boulevard, a very sparse road at night.
So what were the indicative facts?
I'm opening the office.
Yes, sure. We're looking at the office report.
Josh, I'm so sorry. Hope everything's all right. Please let us know if there's anything we can do.
This is just a mere probable cause. I need enough of a statement from the officer in the DIMS saying how he justified pulling the car over in light of failure to maintain a single lane. The weaving statute. I mean, do you need a bit of time? If you want to reconvene in like maybe 30 minutes, it's fine.
My offense report's not running for some reason. So.
If we may have a little bit more time.
Mr. Simon, do you have somewhere else to go?
I have Fort Bend to go to. Can I go to Fort Bend?
That's going to take hours. If you want to, yes, because you can always zoom in. I have Zoom for you.
No, I'll wait.
Perhaps maybe 15 minutes, give them time to look at the OR.
Yes,
All right,
sir.
just take a seat for a minute, Mr. Anderson. We'll come back. For now, we'll have you sign a reset.
Oh, no.
Okay. Hi, Counsel.
I've got Moises Serious.
What's the last name?
Moises.
What was the last? S.I. Okay.
Soon you know the one I'm talking about.
Say it again.
Somebody walking, black man walking.
Oh. Good morning, Mr. Sirius. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, sir. On December 8th, 2024, the officer conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's vehicle at 1:05 a.m. after observing it drive at a westbound on Washington Avenue, following the vehicle in front of him too closely, and for having an expired registration. The defendant was the sole occupant of the vehicle and driver, and upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed a moderate odor of an alcoholic beverage, glossy eyes, and low and mumbling speech. The defendant admitted to drinking, and standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN was 6 out of 6, walk and turn 3 out of 8, and one leg stand was 1 out of 4. The DIC was read, but the defendant refused, and a blood warrant was signed and executed.
Okay. Mr. Sirius, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license, sir?
I do, yes.
Okay. Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
No, it's not my vehicle.
Okay. If you don't have car insurance, then you're not allowed to drive. I'm making that a condition of your bond. If you want to drive to follow the Texas law, you must have a Texas driver license or a driver's license from another state, and you must have liability insurance in your name. If you don't have both, then no driving. I am ordering you also as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any illegal drugs, likewise, your bond will be revoked. You'll go to jail. Do you understand?
John.
You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance, but it's your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Stone, and he will tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you, you're playing games, I'm going to issue a warrant for your arrest.
John.
I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We'll have you get with your bond conditions with Felicia, and then you guys are free to go. All right, guys, thanks. It's fine. Yep.
Right this way. Next judge is page 2. Chavez, come on up.
Okay. Did you have a?
Yeah, it's your Shanks.
Okay.
You're good.
Good morning, Owen.
Every other weekend we go to, there's a small restaurant called Free Pasta. They have a singer who wears a different blazer every time he comes in. How many
Just look like
how many blazers do you have? I guess.
Quite a bit. All right, good morning, Mr. Chavez. Mr. Chavez, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The Street Takeover Task Force was investigating a takeover in a parking lot in Harris County, Texas, when the officers observed the defendant doing donuts in the vehicle, coming within 10 to 15 feet of other vehicles that made up the pit. The officers saw the defendant do approximately 3 to 4 donuts, and undercover officers maintained visual until uniformed officers made a traffic stop. The officers observed the defendant operating the vehicle in the driver's seat.
The Screaming
Mr.
Pickles
Chavez,
from
I'm going to
Jade.
find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a Texas driver's license?
Yes, sir.
Do you have liability insurance in your name?
None of my. Yes, sir.
If I find that you endanger my public, then likewise, you will go to jail.
I just ripped the cord out of the back of my
public. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect it. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
We're back. We're back.
Before you start driving, you must come back and get approval from us. Do you understand? Don't just start driving, because I don't want to take your word that you have a car insurance. Owen can get with you, come back. He knows how to handle this. Do you understand?
Yes, sir, but the truck has insurance.
I don't, you have a lawyer. I don't want you to say anything now.
Okay.
Just get with your lawyer. He can advise you how to go forward. But I'm telling you now, I'm ordering you not to drive. You don't have car insurance.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand, Mr. Chavez?
Yes, sir.
I rarely go live with shoes on. I have shoes on. They're actually like big hiking boots. I love them. But the knobby soles of the boots got caught on one of the cords under my desk, and it pulled the power cord out of the network switch, which ended everything for you guys. It kept going for me, but we're back. I plugged it back in.
Okay, I'm going to have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. I'm going to get you to Victoria. We will have you sign a reset. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Owen. If Owen tells me that he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, it's not going to go well for you here. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, come on. Thanks, man. Hey, can you file? So we need him to also sign bond conditions. Owen, I also need him to sign bond conditions, no reckless driving, donuts, racing. So we'll have him take a seat in the jury box. Once he signs it, then
Yes, Judge.
please.
All right, Judge, next is page 1. Adam, come on up.
Oh,
Owen.
Yes, ma'am.
I need him to sign this.
Okay. Mr.
so Miss Okafor is representing her. So I'm going to wait because remember, she also has another case here today as well.
Yes.
That we set for today. Ma'am, I'm going to wait for your lawyer to get here so we can do probable cause. I'm just going to have you take your seat in the jury box, okay?
All right, Judge, next is page 3. Chestnut, come on up.
Do you want to wait till you're done?
No, I'm filling in the date and trying to get the next person up.
Okay, all right. Caramba la bamba.
Yeah.
What was that? Arriba, arriba.
Good morning, Ms. Chestnut. Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes, Judge. On December 5th, 2024, the officer responded to a flock hit for a stolen license plate, and upon locating the motor vehicle, the officer conducted a traffic stop. Upon contact with the defendant, the driver of the vehicle, the officer detected an odor of an alcoholic beverage, slurred speech, and red glassy eyes. The officer confirmed the VIN was a match with the stolen vehicle hit on MDT, and the defendant admitted to drinking 2 drinks, one of which was a large margarita. The standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 5 out of 8, one leg stand 0 out of 4. And the reason for one leg stand being so low is because the defendant walked instead of doing the one leg stand. The DIC was read but refused. Blood search warrant was drawn and executed.
All I see is just the DWI. That's it.
Yes, Your Honor. There were no charges filed, and I don't know the reason for that. We can look more into that, but
it's not okay. So, any prior DWIs?
No, Your Honor.
Did you run her NCIC?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Chestnut, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Have you run a license?
It's eligible, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to drive any vehicle unless you have liability insurance as well. As part of your bond conditions. I am also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs.
Yes.
You will be randomly tested. If we find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of illegal drugs, I'm going to revoke your bond and put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you do for a living, Ms. Chestnut?
I'm working at this time on Social Security.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Did you want to apply for
Show
an
you the
appointed
boots
lawyer?
because I
ma'am?
accidentally kicked the
Yes,
cable.
sir.
Okay. Do you mind?
That's what caused the problem.
You know what? Let me see if I have one on file. Hold on.
Hang on. We have to go to Judge.
I need you to fill out
Judge
an
Cedric
application for
Simpson.
me. I'll take a look at it.
We have a
to see
great
whether you
Christmas
qualify or
sweater
not.
in court.
If you do, then we'll appoint your lawyer. So
We have to bail and go to Judge Simpson because there's a great Christmas sweater in court right now. Let's see. Judge Cedric Simpson. Come on, Judge, where you at? Honorable J. Cedric. Come on. This is struggling here. There we go. Search. Honorable J. Cedric Simpson's live feed. Is this it? Hang on. There we go. Go to channel. Finally. Okay, here we go. Christmas
I
sweater.
made a total payment to have my balance at $1,024, which is the regular payment for Evergreen Apartments for the month of December.
Okay. So you got everything down to one.
It's a landlord-tenant
for
issue,
December.
but I have to
And
see
I
the
plan on
Christmas sweater.
having that paid next week.
Next week?
In full.
In full by what day? You told me in full back in November, and now we're still here.
Yeah. Looking at next Friday at the latest. In full for the whole
Will you be
$1,020.
able to pay it before 2 o'clock or before noon?
Yes.
Who's in the photo? Is that an actor?
Can you pay it before noon?
I should be able to, yes, on Friday.
I'll then turn this out
Is that
December
like Jason
20th,
Latham, or
2024.
Who was that?
I'm going to indicate defendant to pay the balance by the 20th. I'll adjourn it out to the
Scrooge is the
20th
attorney
at
who says that.
2 p.m.
Oh, that was funny.
Okay? Thank you.
Doppelganger.
Court calls the case of Evergreen versus Andrea Dabney. Oh, look, 2 in a row.
James Fink for the plaintiff.
Hello.
Hello. What's your name?
Andrea Dabney.
You understood not to put the hand. I know. He got upset last time, didn't he? Okay.
I don't know. I was trying not to intimidate him, so I'm not sure.
I know. Me too. All right. What are we doing?
She owes $21.98.90.
$21.98.90. Abby, you can get that paid.
Can I have until December 27th to get that paid, Your Honor?
Okay with me, Your Honor.
I'll issue judgment. Finding no tribal issue after hearing with the writ. December 27th. So you have until the 27th to get it paid.
Yes.
And what was that total amount? Was it $21.98.90?
It's $21.98.90. That includes costs. So it's 2026.9, 172 for costs. 2198.9.
All right.
That's possession only, Your Honor.
All right. Yes. And I'll sign off on that. Have a good holiday, Ms. Dan. Evergreen Apartments versus Travis Peters.
James Fink for the plaintiff. The balance is $1,163.25.
Give me that again. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Can you give me that amount again?
1163.25.
Hello.
Hi.
How's that going to be paid?
So I'm in talks with Sitter right now, and we're just working on getting a tracking number right now.
Okay.
And then I'll be paying with my paycheck on the next Friday.
Okay, let's try this. So you applied to DHHS for, sure, how many people are in your household?
Just one.
One. Okay, that would, your max award would be $410 on that. So
they're just helping me out with this payment.
Pardon?
They're just going to help me out with this one payment.
Right. Okay. So then you said you're going to pay something on the 20th.
Yes. I'm going to be paying the rest of my balance on the 20th.
Okay. So how much are you going to pay on the 20th?
It would be like $850.
You can pay that $850?
Yes.
Okay. So let's do this.
And then plus whatever Sturt gives me with that 410 on top of that.
And what if they don't?
They said I was approved already. They're just waiting for the ID number through Evergreen for the DH.
Oh, okay. So they've approved it, but you've got to pay the amount before they're going to pay.
Yes.
That's why you kept saying it to me the way you said. I got you. No, I got you. Okay.
And so you can pay the $850 or thereabouts. You can pay that by the 20th?
Yes.
Before noon?
Yes.
Thank you. So pay that by the 20th. I'll adjourn this out to December 20th, 2024 at 2 p.m. You get that paid, and then hopefully they'll pay, and then everything will be taken care of. If everything's at a zero, I don't need to see you.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Have a great holiday.
Make sure you check on it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Court calls the case of Evergreen Apartments versus Ashley Bell.
James Fink for the plaintiff.
No, you're
you're
good.
fine.
It's not like not like I don't have people to see. You're good. You're good. You at least hustled. That guy didn't. No, I'm kidding. I'm just messing. Go ahead.
Her total is $1,561.84.
6184. And how are you intending on getting that paid?
I'll have it paid on the 27th. Fully.
Fully?
Fully.
And would you have it paid before noon on the 27th?
Yeah.
You will?
Yes.
I'm not going to do it, Judge, but I think she's going to pay it. Put that away.
I'm an honest woman. I promise.
Now he's going to get mad. So what I'm going to do for you is I'll adjourn it out to the 27th,
Okay.
2024 at 3 p.m. Get that balance paid. I will be upset if you don't have that balance paid.
You know what? I swear I'm telling the truth.
What'd you say?
I'm telling the truth.
No, I didn't say that you weren't. I have no doubt. He has doubt. I don't.
Doubting my abilities.
No. Yeah, all right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye. Merry Christmas, everybody.
And to you.
All of you sitting out here.
Oh, you said down here now that I get to leave. What? Wow. I don't know. Evergreen versus Edward Carr III. See. Oh, now see, he sped up when I called him out the last time. No, I'm just saying.
You're famous.
Who?
You. I am. I watch you on YouTube all the time, man. You handle business.
You know? You're watching me. You need a hobby. All right.
There's a soundbite.
Go ahead, boy.
Okay, how much is owing?
$1,297.30.
Okay, how are you intending on getting that paid?
Next Friday, early as possible.
You can get it paid?
Early as next Friday, man.
Can you, at the earliest?
Earliest.
Can you get it paid by noon?
I can get it paid before noon.
All right. You're going to pay the whole balance?
Whole balance.
Okay, so I'm going to indicate you're going to pay the balance by the 20th. I'll adjourn it out to the 20th, give you a shot to do that.
Sure.
Ashley's the model over on our Top Mark Media channel.
At 3 p.m.
It ain't like Christmas.
2 p.m.
It's hard time.
At 2 p.m. Oh, man.
Hey, Your Honor, you have a blessing, man. May God keep blessing.
Thank you, sir.
I say bless.
Evergreen Apartments versus Robert Sanford.
We're going to put Ashley to work here on the Top Mark channel here soon.
In sync for the plaintiff.
Hello. What's your name?
Robert Sanford.
All right. And how much is owing?
Is he wearing a hat or is that his hair?
That's your ID. I don't need your ID. Mr. Sanford owes $2303.95.
$2303.95. Young man, how are you going to get that paid?
So I do get paid on the 27th. That's the earliest I can make a payment. I do have resources that I can go and reach out to, just friends that I can. And if that fails, I've been talking with Evergreen Apartments about getting information for Hawk. So I haven't set up a date yet, though. So
you haven't not spoken with Hawk yet?
No, I've called them and emailed them one time, but they just need extra information from me, and I just haven't provided it to them yet. So I haven't called them recently. I'm sorry if that sounds confusing.
Okay. So I guess what I'm trying to figure out is, when you say that you have people that you can reach out to.
Yeah, it's just close friends. I would want to reach out to them if I can. You know.
Can we nail this down? He was going to make $1,000 payment, but didn't. So
why?
Like to get
I'm just trying to figure out why.
I apologize. I made on the 29th. I made a $550 payment. I thought I was going to get
I thought I was getting enough to pay 1,000 for my job, but I didn't make enough, and I only paid 5,000 or 550, and then today I paid 750. So I acknowledge that I'm not making.
Okay. Stop. So you paid 550 since the last time we were here. You paid 550 plus you paid 750. Is that right?
I've got the 550. I don't have the 750.
And when did you pay the 750?
This morning.
Okay. So you paid the 750 this morning, which would come off of that, which would be about 3, 450, about 2. Okay. So when are you going to pay the balance of that amount? When can you pay it?
The earliest would be in 2 weeks from now.
The 27th?
Yes.
Okay. So here's
He
what
said
I'm
the
gonna do.
earliest. So can I pin that down?
Sure. That's the earliest you can pay it?
Yes.
Are you going to pay it on the 27th?
Yes, I will.
Everything?
I will do my best. Can I? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I really apologize.
Young man, here's the way I work. Tell me what you can do.
I can promise I can pay 1,500 of it in 2 weeks' time. That's the earliest I'll be able to pay that. And
Okay.
on top of that.
And then the problem's going to be this, is that then you're still going to have a balance and then January is going to click in.
Yes. So,
right? That's our problem.
The only thing I'd have for that would be Hawk.
Pardon?
The only thing I'd have for that would be Hawk to reach out to them even more so. And I don't know if that would make the deadline.
Okay, let me ask you this. Have you contacted DHHS yet?
I haven't.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Are you going to be able to pay anything by next week?
Yes, I will. I'll make sure I can. I'll be able to.
Okay. How much can you pay by next week?
500.
500. Okay. Don't come in here telling me you don't have it or didn't have it. So you're going to pay that by the 20th. I want that paid by noon on the 20th.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm going to adjourn this to December 20th, 2024 at 2 p.m. All right. Now, here's what I'm going to want you to do right now. You're going to go down to the end of the hallway to the clerk's office. You're going to ask them to put you on a computer into my courtroom. We're going to put you into a virtual breakout room with my court liaison person who can walk you through what resources may be available.
Okay.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
See you next week. Thank you. Why isn't Amy here? I like it when Amy's in the room. Court calls the case of Evergreen versus Ruth Palmore. We were on a roll, huh? No? Right. Mr. Fink, do you wish to take it to Paul?
I do, sir.
Solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, this is an action for non-payment of rent. Ms. Palmore and the second defendant, Denisha Moore, owe $1,036.48 in rent. The costs are $214 for a total of $1,250.48, possession only.
Judgment to the plaintiff. That is by default for possession. Redemption amount is in the amount requested with the writ issue in 10 days. Court does call the case of Evergreen Apartments versus Magdalia Gonzalez.
James Sink for the plaintiff.
Hello. Your name?
Magdalia Gonzalez.
All right. And how much is
$2,077.70.
And how are you going to get that paid?
On Friday, the 20th, I'm gonna pay 500, and by the 31st, the full amount is gonna be paid.
By the 31st, you can pay it? All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find no tribal issue after a hearing. I'm going to issue a judgment for the full amount of the $2,077.
I finally, all this time I've been looking for my picture of my Christmas sweater. I found it.
And the writ date on that will be December 30th. Okay, So you got to get it paid by then, the whole thing. Got it? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Court calls the case of Flomar versus Caden Duford. They are not checked in. Pardon? Satisfaction of judgment.
Looks like I sent in a satisfaction.
Yes, this. No writ. Satisfied. That was on the dollar. Yeah, I gave you the file here.
Okay, let me see if I can change my profile picture to.
Court calls the case people or Glencoe Hills versus Shayna Williams. They did. Here in Joe.
James, thanks for the plaintiff.
Oh, yeah. Shayna Williams.
There we go. I've got my ugly sweater on. I made this one
I'm
myself.
here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We're gonna need a camera.
Later in the day. Sorry, I'm working. I'm trying to get my camera on. I'm trying to do it all while working.
Okay.
Okay, here. Let me show you my sweater. I'll make it big so you guys can see this. Oops, no, not like that. Like this. P1 cut. There it is. If you guys recognize, this is not quite the finished product. At the end, I actually attached a as clear Ziploc baggie right to the belly area on the shirt, like the lower part, and I had a bunch of chocolate covered raisins in there, which I snacked from periodically throughout the night. And it won the contest. Made that one myself. I'm pretty proud. I went to Hobby Lobby to buy that. Designed the whole thing. That's a white-tailed deer, by the way. If you can't tell, it's the south end of a north-facing white-tailed deer. And anyway, thought you'd enjoy that one. All right, where were we? I think we watched enough of that type of court. Let's see. Judge Fleischer's done for the day. Judge Boyd is not live right now. Who's Judge Cooney? Anybody know Judge Cooney?
Failed to appear, and I guess I'll spare you any argument here, but hang on, I just looked at section F. She's claiming the funds are exempt because it's Social Security. So do you have any response, Mr. Johnson?
Yes, Your Honor. As I stated in the response, this is a state tax garnishment. It's not a garnishment of a bank account or anything like that. So this is strictly from her state tax refund. And the statute is clear. There are no exemptions. If the treasurer is served with a valid garnishment, they shall, not may, withhold the refund. So there's really no exemption for Social Security in the statute.
Okay, and I think we've been here on the same issue in the past, and Mr. Johnson has correctly stated the law, so the objection to garnishment is denied. And do you know, was money actually withheld?
I don't, Your Honor. It's for her 2024 tax return, so she hasn't even filed yet for 2024, so we don't even know. We don't know if this is moot or anything, really.
My order will simply deny the objection.
Blackbird Squeaks is making cinnamon rolls for everybody All right,
thank you, Your Honor. Have a good weekend.
To pick some up. They're delicious looking. I like that you make them in the pan with the aluminum pan with the tray.
Yes. Okay.
The sides are better that way.
I
They're
just
so
sent
good.
Kyle and Cinder an email asking if they could zoom in like now or in 15. So if I hear
Okay.
from them, I'll come get you.
Okay.
Judge is off the bench. We're going to bail if the judge left. Big courtroom, though. See if we have anything else we need to catch up with any other trials. See, the Florida Eagle Cam is live. That's nice. I'm not finding anything. Anything out of Wisconsin? No. Let me take a look in Washington, though. I haven't looked at Thurston in just a little bit, so we'll do a quick check there and see if they're up and about this afternoon. Thurston County Court. Okay, courtroom 1 is live. Let's jump there.
Yes, we appreciate your, if you can check that, I'd greatly appreciate it, counsel. For what it's worth on the docket, it looks like you last appeared for her on November 20th. For Ms. Lesh, I mean to say.
Renee, I might be able to talk Mrs. R.A. into that if you bring a bunch of friends and have a lot of good questions.
And Your Honor, I have no representations to make for the court. I know she was here at the last hearing. I do note that she is of tender years, and I would just ask the court to take that into consideration, the possibility of issuing a warrant for someone who is 18 years old, so close to Christmas. I would ask the court to understand the circumstances. She's young. She might be in school right now I'm not aware of that, can't attest to that. But if the court might just note the FTA and reset the hearing to provide Ms. Lesh ample opportunity to contact her client and resolve this matter, it would be greatly appreciated.
18-year-old Christmas card.
Not seeing a failure to appear in this case, I'd agree with counsel's request.
All right.
Okay.
We will
No bench warrant.
strike trial dates. We'll reset for a new confirmation date, and we'll note the FTA.
Haley Rhodes, we did have a verdict. You
Merry
missed
Christmas,
it.
Ms.
You
Hamilton.
missed it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. It seems, unless I have missed something on the calendar, the remaining matter is Ms. Lesh's, and she is in a breakout room. Unless, have I missed any?
Let's see. Krista, this particular court is in Thurston,
All right.
Thurston County, Washington.
If that's the case, we'll wait on Ms. Lesh on the Lopez matter. If anyone else is hanging out, feel free to disconnect unless you particularly like the look of the court as a background. Thank you for your time, Ms. Simmons. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.
Thank you, Your Honor. I hope the same for you. Thank you, counsel. Thank you, Madam Clerk, very much.
How do we feel about courtroom backgrounds?
And we'll be on a recess until done with her.
How do you feel about
meeting.
courtroom backgrounds? I like them personally. I'm a big fan. Okay, so while they're on a little bit of a recess, let's see if any of the other, courtroom 2 is not live. 3 is not live. 4, which has delivered some good stuff in the years past, is also not live. So Thurston's a wah, 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 is a strikeout today, unfortunately. Are there any parole hearings? Let's It's a little late in the day for parole hearings, so you usually get done in the morning, I think. They're pretty quick. Sloth Life, thank you very much. Gifted a membership. JMO, you're the lucky recipient. Know the next message. And he got in trouble again. Back to the corner. He goes, what state is this in? Is that, Krista, is that the message you got? I've just got numbers. Either text me your name so I can see which one you're talking about. Oh, I just got a link. Hang on. Just got a link from you, like just now. You sent me a link for Judge Boyd for yesterday, but it's somebody else's coverage of it with additional stuff on it. Can't show that one. We need the original. Judge Boyd had a wild one yesterday. Yeah, if you missed the verdict, we did cover that this morning. The verdict came in after about 4 hours of testimony. Jury sat through about 45, 50 minutes of audio, listening to Joseph Ferlazzo under direct questioning tell about the events of that evening that Emily was killed. And then they went back for about an hour, deliberated, and returned with a verdict of guilty to the charge of murder. Sentencing is going to be probably February, I think. I guess I've spelled things wrong in my heading today. I was in a bit of a hurry. There we go. I fixed it. I did not see that lawyer come back up with the judge. If somebody could see a timestamp on that, I'd love to watch it, but I didn't see when he came back up. Sloth Life is the most generous sloth. Somebody just sent, have you ever seen this court? With a, oh, okay, never mind, I see where it is. Let me look at that one. I've never, this one's out, it looks like it's out of Hawaii, but I've never seen a court out of Hawaii before. I'm sure they have them. Hawaii courts. Let's see what we have here. Hawaii courts.
Okay, thank you. So we'll reconvene in a few minutes on the other case.
Ooh. This court is brought to you by Word. Court is in recess. I'm going to back up just a little bit and get a feel for what this one is.
In days, because I've got other trials to do. Fortunately, the criminal trial that was supposed to start on the 27th got postponed yesterday too. Actually, we didn't reset the trial date. We just set a pre-trial date. But then I've got other stuff coming up, and I'm not going to keep moving those off. There's a civil matter that arises out of the fires, but that can go off if we need to. But my criminal stuff, those have to go forward. So I'm not inclined to hear from a lot of experts or that kind of stuff for people to tell me that this is what these claims are valued. I need to know who your claimants are, what their claims are. And, you know, it's like, well, here's the scope. Okay, I still don't know what evacuation damages are. I don't think such a thing exists. It falls in the rubric of what, 663-8.7 or 8.5 is general damages. It's called emotional distress. Why do we have to create a new category of damages? And by the way, a large group of people did not evacuate. 105 did not evacuate. They were not able to evacuate. Do they have evacuation damages? No. So I mean, you know, let's stick with
about the fires in Hawaii.
That you ought to stick with my area of familiarity. So what do we want to do now? I don't know what's happening on Monday, but and I don't want to know.
Your Honor, now that we have a trial date, if you want to give us any kind of deadlines for the exchange of expert disclosure reports and whatnot, that, you know, we would welcome that.
Next Friday. Okay. The 20th. I don't know if you guys are going to do discovery. I would strongly, other than this exchange of material that has to be done, I would strongly discourage it.
Exhibit 10 doesn't allow.
Yeah, well, also, I am not reading depots. You've got to bring, all the witnesses have to be here in the courtroom because we'll be on YouTube, so we can't use Zoom. So if you're going to hire people, you got to make sure they're going to be available in that time frame.
Yes.
Otherwise, they're not going to be testifying. I'm not reading depots. I'm not looking at it, God forbid, derogatories. I'm not going to do all of that.
Yes,
and you know, I'm going to allow cross-examination because I think that's a pretty good truth-telling engine. If I don't understand people, they need to be prepared to be interrupted. As you know, I ask them questions, and if I have doubts about what they're telling me or don't understand, then I intend to clear it up. So is next Friday too soon for expert disclosures, at least? If you're going to call any?
Are we talking about the disclosure of the identity and the category? Or are we talking about the disclosure of actual reports and opinions?
Well, I'll give you 2 weeks for the opinions, but, you know, and the experts' reports don't have to be 20 pages long. They can be 2 paragraphs. It's my opinion that the total property losses suffered in the Lahaina fire are X dollars. This is the basis for my decision or opinion. It should be pretty simple. And then, you know, I'm even not inclined to have expert reports, to be honest with you, but I'll allow it because it may help me. But I want them short and sweet and to the point.
Is it okay to do depositions of the experts?
No, because I'm not going to read it.
But for us to understand that a cross-examination, I'm not asking you to read a deposition, but I mean.
Let me ask you something. Okay. Do they take depositions in murder cases and sex assault? Ask Mr. Otaki. Okay. He's here today. Am I right, Mr. Otaki?
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, but what happens in federal court? When do they give you the witness statements? Just as about the time you're about to cross-examine the witness, right?
If you're lucky, the Friday before trial.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. If not, after direct examination.
Right. And they feel like they're guaranteeing you a great boon when they give you the witness statements the Friday before, right? Yeah, it's like, we're giving you a gift here, Tommy. And if you're not nice to us, we ain't going to give you those gifts. Exactly. Yeah, so, you know, you're all experienced.
So Your Honor, just so that we're clear, 2 weeks for expert disclosure reports.
Yeah, 2 weeks, expert reports, disclosures.
Thank you.
We will have a status conference then on the 3rd on this matter to iron out any other things, because we had that other motion scheduled. But I really want you guys to agree. Opening statements are going to be extremely limited, like maybe 15 minutes each. Closings we can do, you know, we'll figure that out. You've both done trials, you know how I do it. The witnesses have to be available and ready to go. If there's any changes to the time on the 29th, we'll let you know as well. But I'm thinking that we have to be done by middle of the following week. And I've been mulling something over in my mind. I may make a ruling I'm just letting you know what may occur so that you're not totally shocked and surprised. I may make a decision and not tell you. I will file it in camera. And then I'll call the mediators. Let them know how they can use it.
Whoa.
You know, I heard Judge Sam King used to do that on motions for summary judgment. He'd have a settlement conference, and then he'd tell both sides they were going to lose, and so they better settle. And almost invariably, he was successful. So, all right. So are we done for today on this?
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes.
So we'll see you guys on the 3rd.
Would it be possible to have a lay witness deadline so we know?
Oh, yeah, same day.
Same day.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that. Well, I mean, if you disclose it on the 27th and we do the trial, I mean, that's 30 days. At least you have an idea. So this forces both sides to make the decision on who they want.
And both sides are limited to 10 max witnesses.
No, I won't. Well, it's a practical thing, Mr. Revere. I mean, if we're going to finish by the next week, I mean, 10 is 20 people in a trial is an awful lot of witnesses.
I hear you.
Yeah.
This is in Hawaii.
You guys have to decide amongst yourselves. You get one lawyer each. Only one lawyer is allowed to do the entire case. You can all sit there. You can listen it out. Only one lawyer is going to be allowed to try the case. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Pick your horse and ride it.
Time on the 3rd, Judge.
Oh, what time you want to come on the 3rd?
Wow.
Anytime, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah, let's be decent because I'm actually on vacation after today till 16th of January. So let's say 10 o'clock.
He's on vacation for a month?
Okay. The other thing is there will be no pro hoc vice counsel allowed in this case. So if you're a pro hoc vice counsel and you're expecting to get an ex parte petition admitting it, it's not going to happen. You have to be admitted in Hawaii. My preference, frankly, is to have people who are from Maui, but I realize on the other side that you don't have that. So Honolulu is good enough. It's not good enough for most things, but for this case, since I know the people on the other side. All right. Anything else?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Roberto, I got your objection. You don't have to come up. You can sit there.
He is laying down the law here.
Look at your front page if you think I'm missing stuff. You got your firm name, then you, and then right underneath that, Adam Romney, admitted pro hoc vice. You file this document in this case, 2CSP 24-49. You refile that document. I made them correct this. You get that off there. He hasn't been admitted in this case, pro hoc vice. I could disqualify him, report him to ODC, and you, and all the other lawyers. You signed off on this pleading. Don't trust them when they're doing that. That's a misrepresentation. It's an outright fabrication. He's not admitted in this case. And I got to tell you, the chances are going to be admitted in any other cases after I saw this have been reduced to sub-zero. And I don't mean the refrigerator company. You can't pull this kind of stuff. You think I'm going to miss something like that. So don't let it happen again. And on a pleading that you shouldn't have even filed, you could have moved to intervene in this case. I'm shocked and stunned that you haven't, since there's so much at stake. And you guys should be sitting here saying, Judge, allocate the money. Just remember our $2.4 billion. That's all. That's all we want. That's all we want. So for the other attorneys, don't let them do that to you. You signed off on this pleading, and he put that right there. Adam Romney, admitted pro hoc vice. That's not true. That's a false statement. Okay, thank you. So we'll reconvene in a few minutes on the other case.
Whoa. Whoa.
Okay.
We can do that.
Okay, judges have
We'll do that
discretion.
after we finish this.
Okay, they have discretion in their courtroom. The pro hoc vice thing he's talking about, these are attorneys that are from out of state. Okay, say for instance,
The court is reconvened. Calling 2CSP-23-57 in the matter of the petition for the coordination of Maui fire cases for status conference.
Good morning, Your Honor. Cynthia Wong, Liaison Counsel, appearing in court along with Janet Poe and Jacob Lowenbaum.
Good morning, Your Honor. Randy One-Up and Nick Graham for the Blind Electric.
Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Lamb on behalf of the State Board.
Good morning, Your Honor. Nathan Schimendo on behalf of Command Masters.
Good morning, Your Honor. Greg Larkin on behalf of Inspector County.
Good morning, Your Honor. Eric Snow on behalf of Dwayne Telcom and Cincinnati Bell.
Morning, Your Honor. Wesley Chang for the West Maui Land Company.
Okay, I see everything. Chelsea, do you need to turn it on? Are you already on or do you need to turn it on? You good?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you everybody for showing up today. One preliminary thing for all of you that are white attorneys sponsoring Bar Beach Council, please remember, bar registration and dues are due on the first of the year. If you haven't paid, your Mohawk Beachy status terminates, and I'm not going to allow you back in. That means your firm is gone. That's it. It's too late. I'm just not going to deal with it.
Pay your dues, or you lose your rights to practice in Hawaii as a Pro Hoc Vice lawyer.
So it's just a reminder. But I don't want to get any calls from police or from beaches. All right, so I got that timeline. I saw what Mr. Green filed. It's helpful to me. I was more focused on, well, what happens if you have to try these cases and how that's going to go. Were there any discussions on that, or should we just table that for the time?
I think we should table it, Your Honor. We did submit a joint statement, so I think we're good.
If you're leading the class, I'm taking it, Phil. It's going to be great. Congratulations.
Is that okay with the defense attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Is there anything else we need to? Oh, by the way, I only looked at the open briefs. Has the next stage been filed yet?
On Monday, Your Honor.
They do have it. Yeah, I thought it was December.
They've got 7 lawyers at a 2-person table.
After that, the court said if they want anything additional to the last court, or did they allow for replies?
No replies allowed, Your Honor. We're sort of guessing that there might be some oral argument in January, late January, maybe early February, but that's speculation.
Yeah, I think it's pretty sad.
Man, I'm still floored by this judge.
I'm just telling you, this other entity in Honolulu goes into session on January 15th. And that's a high priority for the judiciary.
I'll keep my speculation to myself.
But I'm assuming there'll be something, some oral argument. The problem is the oral argument may actually go longer than May 19th, given the number of people that have submitted requests for amicus. If I was on the Supreme Court, I'd say, I don't know these people's friends. I'm not saying they're enemies, but all these people who want amicus status is not. Okay, so is that all okay then?
Yes.
We're all good?
All good.
Nothing from us, Your Honor.
For Mr. Do you want to say anything?
Thank you, Your Honor. No, just in light of your comment at the last conference, if you have any questions about the settlement agreement, we're happy to answer them now or later or whenever. That's all.
You know, I have a better understanding. My concern is that I wasn't told. And then when I found out and I was told, I regretted not having been told.
That makes sense, Your Honor.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it is quite a piece of work.
And I know, well, you give whatever weight you will to this, but we tried to make it as simple as possible, given that we're trying to settle thousands of cases at the same time with 7 defendants. And so there are just some unfortunate, inevitable complexities.
Yeah, I get it, and I realize it's we talk about the lump sum, but it's broken up into portions. There's multiple defendants. Be unrealistic to believe that financing isn't involved, so there's multiple levels. There's a lot of things at play here, and I won't say it's speculative, but it's easier said than done. So I do appreciate that. I realize it does have to be reduced to a case of releases that individuals and potentially, I don't know how it works in the class, that they need to make decisions. So, okay. So we can recess on this case.
Okay, so now they're done. They recessed on that case. That was quick. And they delete everything when they're done. That's good to know. Man, Hawaii Courts. Hawaii Courts is the YouTube channel. We need to keep an eye on that one. That judge, first of all, no pro hoc vice. Look at let's see, Alan Jackson in the Karen Reed trial. He has to get permission from the court to practice because he didn't pass the bar in the state where the trial's being held. He's from California. He passed the bar. He's a licensed attorney, but he needs permission to practice in a state other than the ones he holds a bar license in. This judge in this particular case says, "Oh, by the way, we're not going to allow any lawyers who are pro hoc vice in this case. You've got to be a local. Locals only." Wow. And I'm going on vacation for a month too. Okay, give me just a second. I did just get a request. A request to pull down a part of the video from the Ferlazzo trial, and I'm just trying to get the timestamps of what I need to extract. I will honor that request. And the only way I can do this is I can't remove the references to the person all throughout the trial, but I can take out the part where they testified. So that's it. Crystal, I don't have to pull anything down. Nikki Ferlazzo emailed me and said, requesting you pull this down. She says it affects her life, personally, professionally, and I've in the past, when reached out to personally like that, even though there's no legal requirement for me to pull it down, I've honored that because I do like to work with people. I don't know how else to say it. Let's see if I can do this. Sorry, just 1 minute here. Let's see if I can get a court for us to watch while we wait. I think Judge Boyd is back, so let's jump in on her court really quickly while I get this edit made.
As you were refreshing your recollection, did you refresh your recollection regarding any of the other body cams?
I did.
Which other body cams did you watch?
The one that was earlier that day at 1:33 p.m.
Okay. And in that body cam, you see yourself making a phone call, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. So when you see yourself making a phone call, who are you calling?
The victim.
Izzy.
Correct.
Your friend.
I wouldn't categorize him as a friend.
So now you're saying he's not a friend.
A friend is somebody I talk to every day. I don't talk to him every day. He's a classmate.
You have a nickname for him.
Objection. That's been asked and answered, and the court has made its ruling regarding the relevance of that.
But has it already been asked? And was it answered?
No.
Has it been asked before? Was it answered?
No.
Do you have a nickname for him? Yes or no?
Yes.
What is the nickname?
Izzy.
There we go.
And so you placed a phone call to him, right?
Yes.
And when you called him, you were asking him what balcony belonged to Mr. Morrison, right?
Where he was in the pool, and yes, and where the defendant was.
And you didn't know he was the defendant at that point, correct?
All right, edit is made.
You didn't know he was the defendant when you called Izzy, right?
Correct.
Okay, you didn't even know who Mr. Morrison was, right?
I did not.
Okay, so you just knew the person that Izzy suspected of this. You're asking where he was in the balcony, right?
Correct.
Okay, and when you did that, he directed you to which balcony he thought it was, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that was a whole conversation that you had with him on June 4th, right?
It was a couple of minutes right prior to our contact.
But it was a phone call that you had. So the only time that you talked to him was not in the lobby of the apartment complex, right?
Yes.
You talked to him before on your cell phone.
Minutes prior, but to make that appointment where we were going to meet.
And when you called him, he recognized your voice immediately, right?
Yes.
Objection, speculation.
Objection, speculation, yes. Oh, bummer.
We reviewed defendant's exhibit number 1.
Yes.
Before the break, I'm sorry, you're going to have to speak up so that we can hear you.
Yes. Yes, we did.
Okay, and it's a fair and accurate depiction of your conversation with Izzy?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd move to admit defendant's exhibit number 1.
Objection, hearsay.
May I approach, Your Honor?
What's your answer to the objection
Your
for
Honor,
hearsay?
it's prior inconsistent statements.
Ooh,
Inconsistent
for
with his
impeachment.
testimony previous.
All right, the objection will be sustained. This is not the witness that would come through.
We have no idea what this trial is about because we just jumped in here. I can rewind to the
You'd
beginning.
agree with me that if somebody asks you, do you know why you're under arrest? And you understand the accusation, that you're not admitting to that accusation, right?
I don't understand the question.
So if you ask
we're
somebody,
going to back up.
do you understand why you're under arrest?
Looks like this happened a little bit before lunch as well.
You understand why you're under arrest, and somebody explains that to you, you're not confessing to
Which
that.
means we're going to, let's see, Zoom meeting. That's right now. It started Friday the 13th, right?
Court is calling 2022 CR 11724, State of Texas versus Jordan Luke Robbins. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Raymond Saldana.
For the defense?
John Pillay from Mr. Robbins, Your Honor.
All right. And are you Mr. Robbins?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you may be seated. We're here today, and the reason why we're here today is for sentencing. The court has received the PSI report. Any objections to the PSI report, defense?
It started on Thursday?
No, Your Honor.
State, any objection to the PSI report?
No objection.
And the court is also in receipt of the...
Okay, so if it started on Thursday, where's the trial? Past live streams. We had 2 hours ago, 1 day ago, 2 days ago. Let's see if this is it. Just got a spicy attorney in this court that we want to hear a little bit from. I'd like to hear opening statements from him. Probably started in the afternoon.
These two clients?
Yes.
No. Hey, Jade, 3030. I have something from you. I have something from you, Jade. Thank you very much for the screaming pickle. Sinbad says, sentencing for what trial? Yeah, we're trying to see if we can find it here to see when it starts.
And there are a couple...
They were living with me before.
Christopher Andrade.
I'm not seeing it on Thursday. Judge Boyd often has morning regular court appearances and then the afternoon does trials.
Or the fact that you
Let's see.
followed your plea bargaining agreement and because you
That the sounds that he heard were consistent with bullets.
Here we go. This is the right trial. It might not be the very beginning.
Yeah, Haida. And they tell me it was wrong.
No, yeah, Haida. My husband has the same problem, and
Your Honor.
All right, where's your client?
In the back.
All right, if y'all will come up. State, and everyone, if you all continue to confer, I'm going to handle this motion to suppress. Yes, thank you. Oh. I already turned in the file, so if you'll just put that in the file.
Motion to suppress, is that what it is?
All right. And if y'all want, you're more than welcome to do it from the table. Is this going to be a long? All right, sure. Just have a seat at the table.
So we know it's a motion to suppress right now.
All right, court is calling 2023 CR 4707, State of Texas versus Christopher Morrison. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
David Locke for Christopher Morrison.
And are you Christopher Morrison?
I am.
All right, we're here on a motion to suppress. And what is the issue, state and defense?
So, Your Honor, we filed a.
Just one moment. She needs to give you a mic. And everyone, please have a seat. And counsel, do you have a copy of your motion to suppress?
So it's a motion for.
I don't have the motion. Yaya, do you have a motion to suppress on this? It's on Morrison. It's 2023 CR 4707.
Here.
Oh. All right, thank you, counsel.
So it is actually a motion for an evidentiary hearing.
Oh, we're having a hearing, but
I understand.
Yes.
I'm just letting the court know.
Okay.
It's a motion for a Franks hearing.
Okay.
Based on what we think are pretty clear misrepresentations in the search warrant affidavit.
Okay, I want to take a second. Trial TV Live tonight has a special. Jules found a.
All right. And just briefly, I mean, my position is the defendant is not entitled to a hearing on the motion on itself. Mr. Rock, the defendant, has not alleged any knowing and intentional or reckless disregard for the truth. And so that is the law under Franks, and so that's why.
All right, I understand the state's position. I will let defense have the hearing.
Okay, we're going to pause for just a second. Tonight, I think at 4:00, actually in about an hour, Trial TV Live is going to be doing a live stream with Jules and Kurt from Uncivil Law about something that Jules found. There's actually a court case involving Dr. Joe Corcoran, who was our friend, the amazing doctor in the Maya trial. He's an amazing guy. I met him. I stayed at his condo before it got destroyed by the hurricane. It's coming up. It's coming up. Thank you very much, Samantha, for linking this one. I don't know what I can say because I've talked to Dr. Joe personally, and had a feel that something like this was coming. that he was going to pursue this, and he is. It appears he is pursuing it and trying to set what he sees as a wrong right, and it looks like on the surface it looks like he was punished for his participation in the trial by the powers that be, and punished extremely heavily financially because of that. He was professionally punished. If you want to find out details, now this is it's very personal. It's not his wife's restaurant. It's very personal. It's Dr. Joe. Dr. Joe was a doctor. He was going to retire, and had built up things to be able to do that, and then he sort of got the rug yanked out from under him, and it may appear to some, including possibly Dr. Joe, that it was retaliatory. And so back to courts we go with Dr. Joe, because he is in the middle of it. He would not be able to comment on this. He would not be able to say anything to anyone really, because it's pending litigation, and lawyers, any smart lawyer is going to say zip it. And if I remember correctly, Nick Whitney is his attorney. Nick, we love him. So it'll be interesting. I'm not sure if this is something we'd try to see if it could cover, but we'll see. So if you're interested in the Maya case and maybe some repercussions that witnesses in the case felt, I highly recommend you go over and watch that Trial TV Live. We might even portal to it, so you guys can get a listen, see what Jules found. There's about a 66-page document out there. They're looking at some court records. Dr. Joe, I wasn't going to say anything about it. I did see Dr. Joe posted on his community post where he references this. And he actually said, I've heard that this information got out. It is a personal matter. It's very personal to him. It affects him and his family in a big way. And but with it coming out and him treating it the way he did on his channel, I feel comfortable saying what I've just said. So that said, let's go back and listen to see what the spicy lawyer says. This is a motion to suppress. A motion to suppress is basically when there is evidence that is being used against a defendant and defense thinks that it shouldn't be allowed in court, they'll file a motion to suppress, and they'll make an argument as to why the jury or the judge, if it's a bench trial, should not consider this evidence or even hear this evidence moving forward. So we'll see what happens here.
Everyone to be clear. This hearing, we're only focusing on what's in your motion and what your allegations are. So there's not to be, we're doing a full cross-examination for jury trial. We're here for this specific issue only. Does everyone understand?
That's right.
All right, State, you can call your witness.
State calls.
And so, Judge, I believe under Frank's hearing, I think that the burden is mine.
It is your burden, but she has the witness here, so I'm just asking her to put the witness on the stand, unless you subpoenaed him. All right. And I'm assuming someone is going to enter into evidence the affidavit so that I can view it?
Yes, I have that.
And defense, are you going to object to the state? Because you have the witness, are you going to object to the state entering into evidence the affidavit, or do you wish to do that?
No, that is absolutely fine if the state enters it in now.
All right.
Would you like me to acknowledge?
Yes.
So, state offered the affidavit for search warrant under Rule 918.
All right. And then we can label this as State's Exhibit A. Any objection to it being labeled as State's Exhibit A, defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
And any objection to State's Exhibit A being entered into evidence for purposes of this hearing?
For purposes of this hearing, no objection.
All right. Could you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right. You can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record, please.
Penny, are you certified?
Just 1 second. Defense.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Detective Henning. So do you have a recollection of swearing out this search warrant affidavit?
Yeah, I read it.
Okay, so you read it this morning?
Yeah.
Before then, did you have an independent recollection of the search warrant affidavit? Swearing it out? So did you speak to anybody when you
We're not
were
hearing the
gathering this
witness.
information? I'm talking about when you swore out the affidavit.
Yeah.
And who did you talk to?
It was first it was Sergeant Bill Nueva, then it was
And did they summarize a conversation that they had had with an officer, Izagide?
I don't know if at the time I knew the name of anybody.
Okay. So they summarized the conversation that they had with the person you would identify as victim number 1. Is that right?
Yes, they gave me information.
Okay. And when you say they, did you speak to them together?
I don't remember if I spoke to them independently or at the same time.
Okay. Did you keep your body cam on when you talked to them? Yes.
No.
So you spoke to them over the telephone?
Yes.
Okay. And you don't remember if you're speaking to them over the telephone, it's likely that you're talking to them individually. Is that right? Okay. Do you remember who told you that the incident happened between 1945 and 8 p.m.?
Not this time, no. Whatever they told me then, I don't have the answers to that much.
But you don't remember who told you that?
It was one of the detectives, but I can't tell you which one.
They told you that, so that was from them.
Yeah, I didn't have any information.
And when a victim or when a police officer speaks to a victim of crime, those conversations are typically recorded, correct?
Hope so.
Is it the San Antonio Police Department's policy to record those conversations?
Yes.
Did you ask them how many times they'd spoken to victim number 1 or victim number 2? But you would expect via Real and Garcia to have recorded those conversations. Is that right?
No, Sergeant Villanueva was in office, Garcia,
Okay. But you would expect them to record those conversations as per the policy, correct?
Yes.
And you remember who told you that victim number 2 was swimming and victim number 1 was standing outside the pool?
Individually,
but it was one of those.
Do we know what this case is about before we get too far into this?
And that victim number 1 then heard a muffled popping sound.
all the information there was from the detective. I can't think.
Oh, it sounds like a gunshot.
So you never spoke to victim number 1 or victim number 2 independently. You relied on Villanueva and Garcia and Rodriguez, I suppose, to summarize that conversation or their conversations with the victim.
I don't believe Sergeant Villanueva spoke to the victim's office. Detective Rodriguez and Garcia.
And that's nowhere in your report that only Garcia was one.
So Detective Garcia, Detective Rodriguez, Sergeant Villanueva just walked over to my office and asked my office.
I see. Garcia and Rodriguez spoke to the victim.
I don't know which one spoke to them individually, but I wasn't there. Just the information.
And all of the information in this affidavit was from them.
Yes.
Now, when you summarized this, you were assuming that they were telling you the truth.
I said I just got the information from that.
Do you have access to their body cams?
The one that they were reporting to the victim.
Yes.
No.
You did not have access to them.
No.
Okay. And then once their interaction with the victim was over, you could have had access to their body cams, correct?
Not while they're still there.
I'm trying to raise his
At
voice
some
as much
point,
as
you
I
could have
can.
gotten access to their body.
Yeah, days later.
And you were relying on them to tell you what happened.
Yes.
I no further questions, John.
All right, any questions, State?
Yes, briefly. Detective Henning, so who contacted you to conduct follow-up investigation on December SCP 22?
Sergeant Bell.
Okay, and when he contacted you, where were you?
I was in the third floor headquarters.
Okay, and so were you
This audio
assigned
is
to
too
the call
bad.
out?
No.
And typically when you're in headquarters, is your body worn camera on and
No.
off? And so when Sergeant Villanueva contacted you, for you to assist on call, what was your process in receiving the info for the application?
I got that.
And which detectives were those?
That proceeding.
Okay. And is it the normal practice of SAPD to contact the detectives that are on the scene and investigating to receive the information for the search warrant?
Yes.
And regarding search warrants of residences, depending on the type of evidence that is trying to be seized, how important is the timing of getting that search warrant?
Well, it's imperative.
And so as you stated, because the call was ongoing at the time, you were unable to access the victim's statement at the time you were contacted, correct?
Yes.
And when you received the information from Detective Garcia and Detective Rodriguez, did you have any reason to believe that they were being untruthful with you regarding their summation of the victim's statement?
No, I have no idea.
Okay, and when filling out the search warrant affidavit, did you knowingly or deliberately include a falsehood in that affidavit? Okay, and did you believe that Detective
Guys, I'm trying, but I
Garcia
just can't
and
get this.
Detective Rodriguez were telling you truthful information at the time?
Trying to get this as good as I can
Yes.
get it, but
So you relied on them to accurately convey the conversation they had with the victim. And did they summarize the conversation in writing at all?
Not my knowledge.
No. They were just talking to you verbally.
Yes.
And did you find out whether or not Mr. Morrison was still in the apartment while you were looking for that while you were attempting to get that search warrant?
I didn't know at the time.
Whether or not he was in the apartment or if he'd been transported somewhere else, that would make a difference to how urgent it is to get that search warrant. Do you agree?
I believe he was in custody at that point, but I don't remember. I don't know if he was in the apartment or where he actually was. But he was in custody.
Right. You can do the search warrant. If he's in custody, that urgency isn't as extreme as if he's about to come back to the apartment or out and about or something like that. Do you agree with that?
Lester.
Further questions?
Nothing further.
All right, thank you. You may step down. Any other witnesses?
Judge, I believe that can make you ruling because I do have the other detective here to hear from them.
Is there someone else you wish to call?
Yes, Your Honor. So in the body cam,
Who do you wish to call?
Villanueva or Garcia, whoever it was that spoke to the victim,
All right,
or Rodriguez or Garcia.
State, if you all can determine who spoke to the witness.
it's weird. I'd like to call whoever talked to this guy. If you don't know who spoke to him, they're going to go out and say, who talked to you? I assume they're both there. Judge is going to swear him in.
If you can raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, if you state your name for the record, please. All right, you may have a seat. Defense?
Morning, Detective Rodriguez. You remember investigating the incidents that occurred at the Rivera luxury apartments? That was in early June of 2022, is that right? You spoke to an Officer Izagire, is that right? And Officer Izagire was living at the Rivera luxury apartments, is that right? And as he was living there, he was basically a courtesy officer at that apartment. Am I right about that? You spoke to him, correct? How many times did you talk to him about this case? Just one time? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And when you spoke to him, your body cam was on, correct? And for a little bit of the conversation, the body cam was muted, but at some point you turned the camera on, correct?
It wasn't muted, it's just the first 30 seconds is silent.
Okay. And then, so I guess it automatically turns on?
Yeah, once I activate it, it's silent for 30 seconds and then turns on.
Have you watched the video of you talking to the complainant? Okay. You'd agree that it's not the same as Detective Henning's affidavit. Your conversation with the victim, your Officer Izagire, is different than what Detective Henning put in his affidavit. Okay. Your Honor, if I could approach the witness?
Yes.
This is
If anybody can
So I
find
think
what
the
this
state
case
has
is about, it'd be great. It sounds like shooting
copy
was
of the
involved.
body cam conversation.
All right. Do y'all want to label that as Exhibit B for
That's
purposes of this hearing?
That's fine by us.
Yes.
All right. Then it will be labeled State's Exhibit Number B. And that is admitted without objection for purposes of this hearing?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
While they work on that tomorrow, I'll be on with Broken Baker and Debbie Cook. In that order. It's going to be fun. I'll be in my PJs because it's early on a Saturday. Oh, man. This lawyer's spicy, this defense lawyer, and we're waiting to try to see what led up to that. So we went back a little ways to see what was happening here as this case is sort of moving along. This is a motion to disqualify evidence. Can't remember the name. My brain just cramped. Motion to suppress, I think. Does Judge Boyd have an email? Might send her. It's Frank's hearing. Good old Frank.
May I approach the changes?
Yes.
I might try to send her the song. Not sure if she'll like it or not. Don't know what style of music she likes. Does anybody know? Might send her Dan's Big Mistake.
Let me just, Your Honor, if I could just ask a couple of questions to.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. When you spoke with Detective Henning, you told him the truth, correct? You accurately conveyed the victim's statement to him, correct? And you didn't fabricate anything during that conversation, did you? Okay, and was your body cam on when you talked to the detective? And you've authenticated, you've watched this is the video that you watched previously? And there's no alterations to that? Go ahead.
We might be watching the video right, or they might be watching the video right now. Look for the reflection in the little 4-square glass. Sometimes it shows up there, the back door.
So, the event. About what time did this happen? Was it right with the call?
Yeah, so no, we got out to the pool about 7:15-ish, sometime after 7 o'clock, 7:15-ish.
So he told you that he got to the pool at 7:15, correct? Okay, and Detective Henning put 7:45 to 8 p.m. because that's the. Is that correct? If I could approach the witness, and I'm not sure we're.
So perhaps, I think you all have State's Exhibit A. I do not have State's Exhibit A. So perhaps if there are specific items that you're saying that were told that you believe are incorrect, if you'll just focus on what you're saying is different from what's in the affidavit, then that will move things along.
That's what I'm planning on doing.
All right.
So you said 7:15. It says 7:45 on that.
Okay.
That's the.
All right. No problem. If you'll just point to her where in the affidavit.
Oh, if I could approach the witness now.
Yes.
So you told Detective Henning that this happened about 7:15 according to Officer Ayden. Is that right? But Henning put 7:45 to 8 p.m. Is that right?
What are we waiting for? Oh, it's quiet. It's quiet.
So, the event. About what time did this happen? Was it right with the call?
Yeah, so no, we got out to the pool about 7:15-ish, sometime after 7 o'clock, 7:15-ish. We got out to the pool when we first got out here. I put myself down, I put down one of the little big chairs right here. And I put on this little location device that is best. And we were standing right here on this platform. He was playing around in there. He wanted to actually go into the pool. So I moved ourselves and I put it on the chair over here. And once I did that, we were sitting down like allegedly the stairs going into the pool. We were sitting there for a little bit and he actually wanted to go further out. So we started going, we were swimming. While we were swimming, we went from the stairs, maybe 5-6 feet up. We were kind of like in the center of the pool area. And I couldn't tell you how long we were in there for. But we were there for a few minutes, and one of the first times I heard the like a splash in the water. I heard something hit the water, and I don't know, my peripheral my vision, I saw the water kind of fly up.
So he says that he's in the center of the pool, correct? Okay, and that's when he hears, after they've been swimming for a few minutes, that's when he sees a splash and something fall into the pool, correct? Okay. He did not say that he was standing outside the pool, correct? Okay. He says that he is in the pool with his son, correct? Okay, and what does the search warrant affidavit say about where he was when he heard the first impact on the water? And it's the second sentence of the affidavit.
Number 2 reported someone in the pool while the police started. Then number 2 was reportedly swimming in the pool while number 1 was in the area while outside the pool.
So I kind of looked at I saw some birds flying around, and I was like, that bird freaking died and went in the water. So I walked kind of back where I heard the splash, and I'm looking around, and I don't see a bird.
So it sounds then after he heard the first splash, then he gets out of the water, correct?
If I were kind of getting closer to the Mikey was about maybe 3.5 feet behind me, because I could hear him swimming, and then I heard another loud splash, another splash, and I turned around and I looked at Mikey, like, what the hell was that? I thought it was him splashing around that time. I didn't see the water come up this time, but I heard something hit the water really loud, and I heard the water like splash up. Go over and I thought I was him. So I'm looking around, and then when I heard that, I heard that's all it sounded like a small little report, almost like somebody just shot at me. So I'm looking.
So he reports observing 2 impacts on the water. Right?
As intriguing as this is,
and he says,
I can't hear it. And if I can't hear it,
call it a muffled
pop. I can't talk about it. It sounds like it sounds interesting.
Yes, Your Honor. So regarding the one, Detective Rodriguez testified on direct with Mr. Locke that that's how she would characterize the pop, 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 pop language that was used by Jesse Ezekiel on the date of it. Regarding the time, I mean, the witness did state it was at around 7 p.m., 7:15 at around that time. Regarding the bullet hitting the water, I mean, that is a conclusion that
okay, yeah, I can't. I'm sorry, Judge Boyd. As much as I would love to follow that case and listen to everything that's happening and the intrigue and the spiciness of the lawyers, move the mics or make him talk into them. It would be much, much better. Let's see. Let's do a quick. Josh has sent me another one, and Josh never leads us astray. So let's see. Judge Fleischer. Finding Justice with Judge Fleischer. So I have to find his exact count to pull this from. This is going to be 1 day ago, 3:47:13. I think this is it, 14. At the 1:38 mark. Apparently Judge Fleischer had another live one here. Let's see what happens here.
Come on up. Let me do this real quick. Right?
Yeah, I'll get back on standby, Judge.
That is a nice shawl.
Gotcha. That's up to you.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Daly.
Hello.
He gets a back rub.
What would you like?
So Judge, two things. I've talked to Madam Prosecutor on this case, Judge, and I'm approaching on two things. One, bond reinstatement and PC on this case, Judge. She and I have already discussed it on this case, and we just both want you to hear the PC if we can.
Probable
Judge.
cause.
And then on the bond reinstatement as well, Judge.
So officers initiated a traffic stop in Harris County, Texas for a vehicle having a fictitious plate bearing the word traveler on it. During the stop, the defendant refused to provide.
Traveler? Okay.
During the stop, the defendant refused to provide ID or insurance information, stating, "I do not consent to this." Officer attempted to remove the defendant from the vehicle, and defendant actively resisted by pulling his arm away from deputies until he was detained.
Okay. Tell me what.
So we looked at, Madam Prosecutor, the interference with duties of public servant, Your Honor. Even if my client is failing to give them that, then it is an arrestable offense. But in this situation, it is, Judge. However, in this particular situation, he didn't interfere with anything in terms of his own arrest. I can, if it was a resisting or something to that effect, I can.
They're just trying to get him out of the car.
I don't disagree.
It's classic sovereign case where got the license plate, think that traveling by right is what I think how they term it.
In this situation, Judge, and the reason I'm employing upon the court is, even from what Madam Prosecutor has seen on the video, they're pulling and tugging at his arm, which put my client in some fear. It was more than one officer. It was pretty.
But he still has a duty. If they're asking you to come out, they can lawfully do that. And there are videos, and go on YouTube, right? There are hundreds of videos where officers will literally destroy your car to get you out. When you get into a pissing match with a person who has the power of arrest, who's going to win, Mr. Daly?
We don't disagree, Your Honor.
Right. You know what I mean? That's real life.
We don't disagree, Your Honor. I think under the circumstances of what actually happened, it was not Mr. Daly's position to resist or to interfere.
She's
that was
either
not.
holding them back or
he was
holding them up.
concerned for his safety at that point. And actually, I don't know. Did you hear that on the video? Right. And so in reviewing the video, it was pretty quick, pretty brash. They didn't give him an opportunity to respond per the prosecutor. In this situation, it wasn't as if he was intentionally.
Remember, this is just a mere probable cause.
Yes,
so,
I agree.
They ask you to come out of the car one time.
That's it.
Yeah. It's really.
Get out of the car. Lawful
so,
command.
I mean, I think that there's enough probable cause to go forward now. The problem is, Mr. Daly, is that we revoke your bond. Your bond is set at 2501, and you've continually failed to appear. So, the case and the way that you've treated us, it shows me that you just refuse to accept authority. How are we supposed to deal with that? How do we deal with that, Timberl?
Your Honor, the only reason I bring to your attention is I asked the court to take into consideration. We have a Black male works every day who, and I hate to put that on the court, but I do in this particular climate, that has never been in contact with any particular law enforcement court system. And from what I can see and what I hear out here from a lot of my Black male, and I'm sure it's common knowledge, is that because they are unfamiliar with the court system, they don't know, number one. Number two, when they do come in contact with police, and my mother is assistant chief of police, so I can understand, even when I was younger, I was taught that there are certain things that you have to do with when a police officer even stop you on a speeding ticket. What we don't know is whenever these officers come up, when you're somebody who don't have the privilege of having a police officer as a parent, or who isn't familiar and is being raised in this particular climate and seeing what they see on TV and seeing what they hear and everything that has occurred, you don't know what the proper steps are. I was trained from when I was grown up what you do. I'm not saying that what he did was right or wrong. I'm not saying that how he reacted to this particular court, it is wrong. However, I'm employing upon the court to ask the court to take into a little bit of consideration. Number one, from his perspective, all defendants, can't just say this, but I do see that, from what I've known from this particular case and now in talking to him, I do believe that there is a sense of sometimes they just don't know. Sometimes they just don't. So I'm asking to reinstate his PR bond. I am now on the case. What you know about me, I'm a tight attorney. I run a tight ship. So, and by which of way I believe I can reach him and getting him to court and resolving this matter, which is what I talked to the prosecutor about when you were on break. It's like, let's just resolve this. Let's take care of this.
I'll buy it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm not going to do this again, though. I promise you. I don't care whoever you have. If you flake on us again, that's 3 times. It's out. I'm not going to do it again. Do you understand, Mr. Taylor? I mean, when you come to court, good things happen. When you don't show up and you continually do it, you can't expect good things to happen. Now, do you have a Texas driver's license?
No, right now.
You're not allowed to drive.
Right.
You have a bond condition and you've signed an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive.
Either.
I don't care how you term it. Driving, traveling, however you're going to word it, whatever you do not get into the driver's seat of an automobile, a motorcycle, anything with a combustible engine where you can get on the road unless you have approval from us. Do you understand? I don't care that you have to work. I don't care if you have to go to church. I don't care if you're going to a funeral. I don't care if you're going to wherever it may be. Do not drive. Do you understand? Heed this warning. You're not going to get another one. Okay, Timberland, I'll reinstate the bond.
The internet was wrong. That traveler plate thing didn't
And I'll
work.
talk to her. We were going to try to talk to Chief, but it's pretty busy today.
I think the case is only 3 months old, so you've got time. You can do whatever you want.
Yes, sir.
It's either Tesla or Prius from here on out.
I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court now, but you must stay in touch with her and she'll tell you when you got to come back to court. If she comes back and tells me she can't get a hold of you because you're playing games or you've gone AWOL or whatnot, or you get arrested for something else, all bets off. We good? I'm not asking for much, man. Really. And for future reference, when you get into a pissing match with someone with the power of arrest, you are nearly always going to lose. It's just the way it works. And as a young Black man in today's society, you got to be extra special careful because things can go really wrong really quick. And there's evidence of that over and over and over. Okay? All right. Good luck, guys.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, let me cut here. We're half an hour away from the start of the Trial TV Live special with Kurt and Jules. They'll be on tonight talking about Dr. Joe Corcoran and the lawsuit that is now pending. I have linked to it, which means we're going to portal to that. So if you haven't, for some reason, if you haven't found Trial TV Live yet, and you want to go there, we'd love for you to go and watch and get this update as they're going to review some of this. Kurt's going to look at it from a legal standpoint. Jules obviously knows Dr. Joe as well. So, you can imagine her surprise seeing this in the court docket. But this is coming up. It's coming up. And I think Dr. Joe posted something online saying, I guess I hear the words out. It's out. Here it is. So that's what it is. So yes, very interesting, especially if you followed the Maya trial. And well, I guess you'd be more interested in this if you followed the Maya trial and sided with Maya and her family. If you're on the J Hatch side, you probably won't like what this lawsuit alleges. But it's not against J Hatch specifically. It's against a larger healthcare system. So I'll let them break the news on that. It's the other way around. I think Dr. Joe is suing them. Yeah. And the Maya trial was a civil suit as well. So this is a civil suit after a civil suit. And Dr. Joe, it looks like, just on the surface to me, to my untrained eyes, it looks like he was punished for speaking out against the hospital. Punished in a big way with a lot of zeros. Financially, like literally money taken from him is how I see it. So So yeah, we're gonna see how that goes down. Please do give that a follow. We're gonna portal over to that. I don't know. I've not read the documents yet. It's 66 pages long. Kurt's been looking through them. Jules has been looking through them. Aaron and Chris over at Trial TV Live have been reviewing them. So we've got the portal set up to go over there. It'll be in about 24 minutes when that happens. How does portal work? Lynn, you just sit right here. You don't go anywhere. And when this live stream ends, and I'm going to say bye, and there's going to be like a logo on the screen, and then a little wheel will appear. Don't do anything. Just wait, and it will just advance you to the next video, which will be Trial TV Live's channel. All you have to do when you get to the next one, or else something will pop up and say, hey, everyone's going to this channel. Would you like to go? And you say yes. All you have to do is when you get there, you have to click the like button. And I'd encourage you to subscribe to the channel as well. They're good people. Chris and Aaron at Trial TV Live. We've worked with them on the Sarah Boone case. They were reporters for us on our Top Mark Media channel. Down there in the courtroom, along with Jules, running the equipment, getting us the feed straight from court. They're good people, and what they're doing is awesome. So please show them some support just by subscribing and clicking the like button and watching the conversation, because it's going to be quite interesting. Then tomorrow, yes, it is a Saturday. Today's Friday. Tomorrow, Saturday morning, a rare live stream where I will be working. Not really working, but I'll be on with Broken Baker on his channel. Then we've posted a link a number of times. So that's going to be at 9 a.m. After that, I'm going to try to jump in with Debbie Cook, who is here in chat right now. And we'll probably, after that, I'm going to work on my bathroom. So that's the order. I'm going to wake up, might eat some breakfast, on with Broken Baker, on with Debbie, and then get to work on the bathroom. So I'll smash some more tile. Portal doesn't work for my iPhone. Bummer. Okay, we'll post a link for it. How about that? There we go. There's the link. Samantha, literally the words, as soon as they were out of my mouth, you had posted the link. Thank you. If you'd like to support Trial TV Live, YouTube did take a narrow look at what they were doing and didn't like it. This is one of the things that Trial TV Live can do to fix that moving forward and get remonetized again. So you going there, liking the stream, commenting, sharing it if you can. And for those who know how to share a feed, that could be quite useful to help those metrics and help YouTube see that what Trial TV Live does is in fact a great service and something that a lot of people want and find unique and interesting. Engage for sure. That would be the best way to help them. Let's see. I think YouTube used something about reuse content. When a lot of people have the same footage, they look at it pretty narrowly. I mean, a lot of us stream the same court cases, and it's the same. But when you first start out a YouTube channel, you're under more scrutiny than moving forward. And so the YouTube said, it's not unique enough for us, or something to that effect. I wasn't involved in the conversation, but from what I hear, that's how it went. So helping them get a lot of unique content, which this will definitely be, as they're breaking news on this. It'll be awesome for them, and hopefully we can get them back into the world of YouTube fun once again. Let's see. Court trials should be exempt. Yeah, YouTube and court, they don't work very well. I've talked with court about this. I talked to my manager on YouTube as well about this. So let's see. They do report live. They got us interviews after the Sarah Boone case that other outlets were using and citing. They were really good. It was phenomenal. It wasn't enough original content. We'll help them with this. This will help with the original content. The more hours, the more watch hours they get with this content, the better. So let's see. And they run a very similar chat to us. It's a very similar community. If you like it here, if you like it at Brandy's place, if you like it at Peter Tragos's channel, very similar communities you'll find on all four channels. Let's see. All right, I think that's it. I think that's where we're going to leave it. It's Friday. It's Friday night. We're going to, well, Friday afternoon anyway. We're going to portal over to Trial TV Live. I think they're live right now with the chat open. If they are, the first thing to do is hit the like button. Remind somebody when they get there to hit the like button. If you don't know how to hit the like button, you've got a few minutes to learn how. This is a good one to learn on. So Jade says, please what? No, I want to hear the pickle. Oh, I haven't even opened it yet. I haven't even opened it. I have the world's smallest screwdriver to open this. There we go. It's an unboxing video. Ooh. I'm not going to make any comments about this, but well, yes, I am. The yodeling pickle looks like this, and the screaming pickle looks like that. You can see there are some differences. This one's smooth. This one, oh, whoa! Yodeling pickle is very, very touchy. The screaming pickle requires a little. Now we're going to hear this for the first time together as we put the screaming. This is definitely a dill. It looks like a dill for sure. We're going to just put that up to the speaker and listen to it. Hang on. How does that? It's like a more full goat scream. It is loud. It's a loud screaming pickle with texture, so you don't drop it. It doesn't slip out of your hands as easily as the yodeling pickle does. But clearly a very similar design. It looks more authentic. It looks like a real pickle. Is how it looks, as opposed to this one looks, well, different. All right, there you go. We've got the screaming pickle. If you want the screaming pickle, I can send you a link to that right here. I'll put that on. Once again, this is an affiliate link that if you do happen to purchase the screaming pickle after clicking this link, YouTube, or not YouTube, but Amazon will reward me with a couple cents. But there's a link to the screaming pickle, and it's a loud one. I mean, I might need earplugs. Yeah, that's pretty loud. So that will go on my dill shelf. I think Mrs. R.A. is home. So what we're going to do is I'm going to wrap up here and have a conversation with her about credit cards and desks and discounts, and see if I can get a discount on my standing desk. And if we can, I'm going to order one right here, right now. And it should be here by, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday. Scared my cat, so I'm sorry, Texas Nana. It was pretty loud. It was pretty loud. Hide it in the fridge. I'm the only one that eats dills. I mean, they'll eat like a sliced dill on a hamburger. And that's it. Build it together. It's going to be like a 3-hour build to build the desk. It's going to take a while. Scent Bunny, I'm just going to leave that one right there. Makes you wonder what other screaming products are out there. Probably too many. Hey guys, I'm super excited about this weekend. Also on Monday, we've got a podcast coming out with Peter Tragos. That was a lot of fun to record. I hope it turned out well. It was an honor to be invited onto his podcast. He's a pillar of LawTube. I have so much respect for him, for Rob, for Ian, for EDB. There's so many just incredible legal minds in the world of LawTube. And I love that we have them all available to analyze and give feedback and information and instruct us on the things that are important to us that we find interesting. Big thanks to him. So tomorrow, well, first we're going to go over to Trial TV Live. We're going to hear this breaking news and delve into the Dr. Joe lawsuit. Then we're going to go on Saturday morning over to Denmark with Broken Baker, 9 o'clock in the morning. After Broken Baker, we're going to go straight to Debbie's channel, and then we're going to demo the bathroom. So I hope your weekend starts off as good as mine is. You guys have a wonderful one. Tonight, when you go home, please hug the people you love, smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again tomorrow morning at 9 on Broken Baker's channel. We'll see you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Because he's the guy.
I have the right to protect myself, don't I?
That is in the rule book of the law.